welcome to Morocco and its capital city, Rabat. This picturesque location would serve as a debut for Africa to host one of the International Judo Federation's most prestigious events, the World Masters. Held under the patronage of His Majesty Mohammed VI, the spectacle was the talk of the town as World Judo's top stars were greeted with great fanfare, and for 1 week Rabat became Judo capital of the world. IJF President Mr. Marius Visa officially opened the draw for this unique event, which sees only the top 16 from each weight category invited. So the names on display, the cream of the cream, and they included that of 7-time world champion René, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince of the Kingdom of Morocco, Moulay El Hassan, was then present inside the arena for a fantastic opening ceremony, which included an awe-inspiring light show projected onto the tatami. The 2015 World Judo Masters was now underway. And we start at under 90 kilograms, where one of World Judo's biggest stars was in action, 3-time world champion Iliadis. Iliadis was here in Rabat looking to claim the 700 world ranking points on offer for gold. And he started in style, throwing Tajikistan's Ustoporov with a sublime Uchimata kick. But things were about to step up a notch. Lying in wait for him in the quarterfinal was Georgia's young powerhouse, Gaviniashvili. In his first contest, he'd seen off Serbia's Kukolj, and his raw power and explosivity was bound to cause Iliadis problems. And that it did. As the two gripped up, Gaviniashvili turned in with his hips, the type of throw often seen done by Iliadis, then latched onto the arm and drove through for a decisive score. Wazari, Gaviniashvili had felled the world champion. Iliadis was stunned and now had to fight for a place in the bronze medal contest. But his day went from bad to worse when Samson Grand Prix winner Vanta End astonishingly threw him for Ippon with a huge Sobiso Kamigoshi. Vanta End would fight for bronze. Iliadis would go home with nothing. On the other side of the draw, Japan's Yoshida was the man on form. Having dispatched Idir with a brilliant Ouchigari, he set up a semi-final with Denisov, where he executed one of the throws of the tournament, a quite stunning Uchimata, planting Denisov flat on his back. Yoshida was into the final. Denisov would fight Vanta End for bronze. And once more, Vanta End upset the odds, again using Sodasura Kamigoshi to his advantage to score a second Wazari and claim bronze, throwing his name in the hat for the World Championships. Cuba's 2013 World Champion Gonzalez took the other bronze medal on offer when he dropped underneath Idir with his trademark CNA. In this kind of form, he too could be up there in Astana. But it was Gaviniashvili against Yoshida in the final that had everyone licking their lips. Well, crowd loving this, that's for sure. Yoshida just ahead then. Gaviniashvili, he's got to go forwards. Big thrower, Yoshida. Some incredible throws all the way through the day. Gaviniashvili the same. Somebody's got to go here, just feel it. Gaviniashvili looking for the Ashiwaza and looking for the pickup. Oh, hits across and it's all over. Yoshida goes over the top. Massive Ogoshi there, and Gaviniashvili is the man. He's the new kid on the block in the under 90 kilos category, and he is now moved up to world number 4 after this win. That was magnificent. Both of these fighters were looking for the Ippon, and Gaviniashvili was the first one in. Hips went across. difference. He's beaten Iliadis, he's beaten Gonzalez, and now he's beaten Yoshida. Who can stop this man at the coming World Championships? He's not even 20 years of age yet, and it really is the changing of the guard in the under 90 kilogram category. He really is the new kid on the block.
Of course I'm very happy with my result. Today, I beat 2 world champions and other very strong fighters. Now, I'm very tired, but I did it. I showed strong willpower today and got this great result.
At under 48 kilograms, the honour of being Masters champion went to Mongolia's former world champion, Mongpat. She had a special weapon in her arsenal throughout the day. An effective turnover on the ground using her leg to lever her opponent over by the arm. After Israel's Rishoni fell prey to this move in the semi-finals, Pareto of Argentina also found herself a victim in the final. Great work from Mongpat, who'll be hoping to regain her world title this summer. And at under 57 kilograms, Mongpat was in the crowd to salute her anthem as her teammate Dorsoren came out, winning end of a scrappy final with Francis Rossivou. Taking the 700 ranking points on offer at under 52 kilograms was Russia's Kozutina. A Yuko from a drop shoulder throw against Japan's Hashimoto was enough to get the job done and move her up to world number 2 in the rankings. At under 63 kilograms, Japan's Toshiro was on fire. A lightning fast foot sweep against Italy's Gwen was followed by an enormous ippon against Israel's former world champion Gerbi. In the final, she caught Austria's Unterwasaka in a tight stranglehold. Eventually, there was no way out for her but to submit. A great result for Japan's travelling fans. In action at under 66 kilograms were some of World Judo's most exciting throwers. Always the showman, Ukraine's Zantaraya struck gold in Zagreb at the beginning of the month, and the world number 3 was here in Morocco, looking to keep up his run of form. Which Zantaraya would we get in Rabat? The answer was clear to see. When he's on form, Zantaraya is an absolute joy to watch, as you never know where the next big ippon is coming from. In the semi-finals, he saw off another big thrower in the form of Mongolia's David Dorj to book a place in his second World Tour final of the month. The favourite to face him there would be Russia's Pelayev, who also knows a thing or two about throwing for ippon, as Francis Kovel can attest to. But in wait for Pelayev in the semi-finals was the Belarusian wildcard Shershin, himself no slouch, as Britain Oates found out. And sure enough, Shershin pulled it out the bag. A hold down towards the end of the bout, scoring ippon and surprising everyone, including himself. He would face off against Zantaraya in the final. Pelayev's day would end as one he'd rather forget, as he lost out to Japan's Takeichi in the bronze medal contest after a fantastic dropping shoulder throw. But it was the final, and one more chance to see Zantaraya in action that everyone was waiting for. Well, this is the second final in the same month for Zantaraya. And he's on great form, and he's just pushing forwards all the time. Never stopped. Oh, now then! Oh, look at that! Makakomi! And that came from a different angle completely. This man comes from so many different angles. And it didn't even look like a proper throw at the beginning. Hips came across, and look how he takes his legs out. And his hips come too far through. But because of the control on the arm, he just drives off the legs. And he changes the direction. It's all about adapting to the balance of his opponent, and he does it with great style. And he just drives him over flat on his back, and he really didn't have a chance, Shershan. And he knows it's all over. World champion at under 60 kilograms, world number 1 at 66 kilograms, and the crowd love him.
I'm happy today. I win gold medal. It's really important for me, and I want to take this medal, and I take. And I'm happy to see you again for this month.
The under 60 kilograms category saw the return of Japan's fallen angel Kata. A heavy fall from grace for the former world champion has seen him lose his spot at this year's World Championships. Nevertheless, he was here in Rabat displaying some heavenly judo as he looked to answer the selectors in the only way he can: victory. And in the eliminations, he was doing that in style. By contrast, in the final, there would be no big ippon. But Takato's attacking rate was by far superior, giving him the win via penalty points. A moment of vindication for the youngster. But hard work to regain his spot at the top has only just begun. At under 81 kilograms, there was more reason for the Japanese judo fans to rejoice, as topping the podium for them was Nagase. Some fantastic throwing skills saw him into the final in Rabat. There he would be facing the tough former world champion Nifontov. But Nagase was unfazed, took the Russian to school on the ground. In a continuous attacking action, Nagase was unrelenting, eventually securing a hold down and maintaining it long enough to score ippon. Great work from Nagase. One of the competitors in the final of the under 73 kilos category would produce a moment of fantastic classical judo. Russia's Yartsev squaring off against Georgia's Tatalashvili. Which one of them would it be? Well, both of these looking for the ippon, and both of them can throw right against left. Yartsev looking for the angle for the Uchimata. Oh, and he gets the angle, and he gets the ippon. That was beautiful. And it's all in the first minute of the contest. And that was classical stuff. He just needed to get that support leg central, and he hops it back, and he gets a beautiful ippon on Tatalashvili. Look at that, look at the range of movement, and look at the hand movement there. He absolutely piles him into the mat for the biggest ippon in the under 73 kilograms. Brilliant stuff from Yartsev. The final of the under 70 kilogram category would see world number 1 Poland, the Netherlands, take on Colombia's triple and reigning world champion Alvia. In a rematch of the semi-final in Chelyabinsk, Poland got their revenge. An Uranagi counter-attack to score Yuko was enough to give her the win and cement her position as world number 1. For the third year in a row, Poland will go into the World Championships as the favourite. Can she do it this time? Taking gold at over 78 kilograms was China's Yu. Her victory in the final against Japan's Yamabe also saw her claim the world number 1 spot from Cuba's reigning world and Olympic champion Ortiz. The final of the under 78 kilogram category would see Olympic champion Harrison, USA, pitted against Powell of Great Britain. Harrison, current Olympic champion. Last time she won the Worlds was in 2010. So looking to put that right in Astana. That was close. Osoto Gary there on Powell. Powell tried the Osoto, which almost got countered. And, Mr. Marius Visa, the president of the IJF, looking on, loving this event. Powell coming forwards, looking for the ippon. Hips across! Oh, it's all over. Harrison, Kata catches her with a hip throw. They were both looking for the same technique, and Harrison wins the gold medal. Superb Ippon there, and Powell, you've got to give her credit because she was looking for the Ippon as well. She just got beaten to it, the hips came across, they were looking for the same technique, and Harrison drives her over, and the Ippon means 700. Very important world ranking points, and that puts her up to number 2 in the world, and that was a great win for the Olympic champion. The World Championships are in August, and she must now be looking forward to Astana and regaining her world title.
This is a big win heading into the World Championships. I've never won the World Masters before. In fact, before today, I had never won a match here before, so I'm very pleased with this. And it's all towards the Worlds this year and ultimately Rio next year. So we've got a lot of work to do, but I'm excited about it.
The final of the under 100 kilograms would be a matchup of world number 2 against world number 1. Krapelik of the Czech Republic, the number 1 against Azerbaijan's number 2, Gazimov. And it would ultimately be Gazimov emerging victorious. In a moment of trickery, the Azerbaijani allowed Krapelik to believe he had the superior grip before he used it against him to take him over for a driving wazari, which would ultimately be the decisive score as the pair shared a warm-hearted embrace at the end of the bout. But the real action was in the bronze medal contest. Belgium's Nikiforov scoring a dramatic Ippon in the dying seconds of his bout against Sweden's Passing. And Egypt's Darwish, with the full support of the North African crowd behind him, producing this fabulous Uchimata against Groll of the Netherlands. A great piece of judo from Darwish, which lifted the roof off the stadium in Rabat. Finally, we come to the over 100 kilos category, which saw the phenomenal Teddy Riner in action. A 7-time world champion and reigning Olympic champion, Riner's achievements at his age are unparalleled. He has already taken judo into a different dimension, where he is rewriting the rules of what is possible to achieve. Rabat was a welcome stage for the King of Judo to take up his crown once again. His first bout lasted about 20 seconds. A subtle change of direction completely fooled Romania's Siminescu. Next he took on Georgia's Matiashvili and settled for a yuko, which landed him on top in a hold down. Riner easily into the semi-finals. In wait for him was Japan's Shinchinui, in a bout which all judo fans anticipated eagerly. He is the only person to come close to scoring on Riner in recent memory, as he ultimately lost out to the towering Frenchman in the Chelyabinsk final. Are those who think he has what it takes to dethrone Riner correct? He looked pretty convincing in his eliminations. Would he finally be able to wrestle back the coveted heavyweight crown for Japan? Riner came out looking focused. But was that a hint of nerves? Shinchinui opened the bout as the aggressor, pushing forwards and taking the contest to Riner. At the halfway point, it was him who held the slender lead on penalties. Riner would have to come back in Rabat. Shinchinui really taking the fight to Riner, and that's good to see. Everybody's wanted to see this rematch, especially as Shinchinui was so close to scoring on Riner in the world final. Oh my goodness me, he made a mistake there. He turned the wrong way and his head went down for that split second, and Riner was so quick with that Osoto. He just went across with the leg, he gripped the head, pulled the head down, and Well, Shinshinui went down with a thud. It was a massive Oso to Gary, and René answered the question that everyone was asking. Could Shinshinui be the next man, well, to beat him or get close to it? But he was nowhere near there. He hit the ground with such a thud. It was a massive impact, and René reigns supreme. René is through to yet another final, and Shinshinui, he'll have to go back to the drawing board. Hungary's Bo was the man who had Mission Impossible in the final. Waiting next to the imposing figure of René, who looked completely at ease, is a jarring experience. His sheer presence is a weapon in itself, one which shakes terror into the very bones of his opponents and fills them with self-doubt. Bo needed a game plan to beat the unbeatable René. And as the Crown Prince watched on, it was evident that all Bo's attention was diverted to prevent René's powerful right-hand grip, to avoid being thrown rather than trying to throw himself. But little by little, René got his way. When he did, Bo dropped. Penalties soon started to mount up. And as the contest entered its final stages, Bo was the one penalty away from disqualification. Would René hold on or end things in style? Well, the Crown Prince enjoying this final. Teddy René, the great Teddy René, looks like it's going to go to time, all decided on penalties. Bo running a little bit, but now René's got his grip. Oh, and the Osoto, massive hip-on, and exactly the same thing happened to Bo that happened to Shinshinui, and the Crown Prince applauds, because the great Teddy René does it again. World Masters champion for the 3rd time, and the 7-time world champion just has got anyone close to him, and he just did the biggest Oso to Gary. It was an opportune Oso to Gary in the dying seconds of this match, but nevertheless, it was Ippon, and everybody expects it. Bo looked away, René latches onto the leg, and he drives him flat on his back. It was a gaki movement, and it was terrific control of the upper part of the body, and the drive that it gets off that back leg as well. Such a big man, but so quick, and opportune judo at its best. It was decided in the end by Ippon. That's the name of our game. Teddy René is our heavyweight champion of the world, and he did that in style. What more can you say about this man? He's 7 times a world champion. He's Olympic champion. He's going to go to the next Olympic Games as the defending Olympic champion. He's probably going to win his 2nd Olympic title. What more after that can this man do?
Choses comme ça font avancer notre sport. Ça va aider à être plus populaire. Un jour peut-être on dépassera le foot ou le basket. Voilà, on montre la beauté de ce sport. On montre aussi que c'est un sport qui a un code moral, qui a des valeurs et qui est beau à regarder.
So, it's farewell to Rabat. Ivaniashvili is the new star at under 90 kilograms. Santaraya was the showman yet again. Yartsev showed judo's beauty, whilst Harrison's push for a 2nd world title got a great boost. And what can you say about René? Hasn't already been said. Next up for the World Tour is a Grand Prix in the Hungarian capital, Budapest.